probably hear it in the background. Have a listen to that. It sounds awful. It really does. Poor thing. Hey guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. You join me here today at Swift Performance, of course, with my M3 today. It's been a little while since this car has been on the channel actually, and to be honest, we are following in the footsteps of some of the other recent videos of this car on the channel because it has a problem. Unfortunately, it has developed yet another problem, which means, well, hence why we are here today at Swift. These are the guys that look after the car mechanically anyway, so of course this was the first place that I came to. It's really quite a disconcerting problem. Now I've got the key in the car. I'm going to just start it up because I'm sure you know what these cars sound like. I mean, infamously they sound great, but mine right now doesn't. So we're going to get straight into this actually and start the car up. Probably hear it in the background. Have a listen to that. That is not a normal idle for an E92 M3, and basically, you know, getting straight into this actually, it's the AC compressor which is the problem. Now, of course, as I said, we are here today at Swift to get this all buttoned up and fixed. To be honest, as you know, this is the daily driver of the fleet, but I haven't really been driving it purely because that noise is horrible actually. Really not very good, but it should be a fairly simple fix, hopefully. We know what the problem is, we have all the parts, and yeah, it should be all good and back on the road. But as the sun is out, let's just take a minute to appreciate the Innositec Midnight Green wrap looking awesome. Does clean up pretty well, this car. But yeah, we're here at Swift this morning, plenty of other cool cars to take a look at whilst the car is being worked on, but yet another problem for the E92 M3. Tim from Swift is at the wheel. Oh, I've never heard it on the move actually. Oh, yeah, that's yeah, not ideal. Anyway, two different greens. That is the new, or one of the new shop cars here at Swift, which we'll take a look at. Very cool plate, but in the car goes anyway. Now, as well as doing the fix on what we're doing today, which is, as I said, the AC compressor, hopefully, we're also doing a service on the car. Just makes total sense. The car, I've actually done about 30,000 miles in the car now, so probably a year and a bit, not quite 2 years, I don't think. So I think whilst the engine oil is warm, Tim is going to just drop that, get that sorted, and then, you know, later on we'll move on to the dreaded noise. It sounds awful. It really does. Service is now complete on the car, just leaving Tim to concentrate in there because now the messy bit starts. This is where we're concentrating on the compressor swap. I think, well, what he's just told me in there is, you know, the coolant lines have to come off and it's very tricky to access it. So I'll leave him to kind of concentrate in there without me breathing down his neck, but gives me the perfect opportunity to show you some of the cool cars around here, because if some of you guys have been here to Swift, there's always nice stuff around. And this is, as I said earlier, one of the new Swift Performance shop cars. This is a G82 M4. You don't really see them that much compared to the G80 M3. I think those are definitely more popular, but absolutely stunning spec. Oh, the orange interior as well. Orange buckets in there. And of course, we have to mention the plate as well. Very fitting. I mean, these cars, you don't need me to tell you the kind of controversy which kind of went around the front end of the car. I've always been a fan of the design, and yeah, I think that they are growing on a lot of people, as you've probably seen with all the crazy builds going on. Anyway, what else we got? We've got a 46 down there, very cool M2 in there. Nice stuff in here, of course, mine, M4, a load of stuff all around here, but yeah, always a pleasure to come down to see these guys. And yeah, Team Sherma approved location as well. But yeah, this, I am a big fan. Progress is going fairly well, I think. Tim just come up to me and said, you might want to film this.
This is meant to be attached to your compressor.
Oh.
The clutch has failed internally and it's thrown it off. So once I released the tension on the belt, it literally just slid off. So realistically, at any one point, if it had wanted to, I guess, it could have thrown this off.
Yeah.
And bounced around your engine bay. So
yeah.
No, you've been quite fortunate. There are some balance weights that are actually missing, so they've obviously flung out down the road at some point as well.
not really much else to say, is there, other than oops? To be honest, the belt doesn't just power the AC compressor, isn't it? It's like, what is it, like an serpentine belt or something?
Yeah, you do have two.
So it powers a lot of other things.
It would have been your water pump, your power steering. So yeah, you can see just through there. That's where it's been rubbing on the actual shaft of the aircon compressor.
Oh dear. Well, yeah, that's fortunate but unfortunate, I suppose you could say.
Yeah.
Fast forward a bit of time. It's running and it's not making any awful noises, so that was a great success. Very relieved, to be honest, because I mean, you heard how it sounded. It did not sound good. There was a part of me which was like, well, we know that the AC compressor is faulty. Is there anything else? And thankfully, just running sweet as enough. I'm glad that we did it when we did, because yeah, well, as we said earlier on, that bearing could have flung off at any moment, really. Check out that plate on Russ's E46 M3. Yes, I've tried to buy the plate, and no, he doesn't want to sell it. That would look very cool on this, but yeah, awesome stuff. A big thank you to Tim for doing this, replacing the AC compressor and all the relevant bits and bobs that go up with it as well on the car. You can see idling away, just getting it up to temp so we can just double check the oil level. Obviously after the service we had a full coolant change as well, because we had to take the coolant lines off and actually the reservoir for that, just to get access. So basically we had to take the power steering reservoir, get that out of the way, and also the coolant reservoir, basically to just get all this out of the way so then he can have access down into the dark abyss down there. But actually, if I just get my phone on, you can probably see down in there, spinning away as it should do. Perfect. That is a great success. We have an M3 all fixed, ready for some more miles. Out comes the car. Tim's going to take it on a bit of a road test and also get the AC regassed as well. Weather's turned absolutely awful though, which is not too ideal. Off it goes. It is cool seeing your car on the move. I don't know what it is. Seeing it just parked doesn't compare to seeing it actually on the move. But yeah, he'll be back shortly and then we'll be on the way home. Okay, there we are. All done. Car's road tested. I now have some fresh AC gas in there, for the reasons I mentioned as well. No dodgy noises. That is what we like. Do you know, I've been really fed up with this car lately. But hearing it start up with no concerning noises makes me really happy. It really does. Anyway, besides the point, always a pleasure to see the team here at Swift. Just going to close the valves. I don't want to annoy their neighbours as I depart. But yeah, always a pleasure to deal with and speak to the guys at Swift. Of course, you can find all the details to them down in the description down below. It's always very satisfying driving away from having something fixed on your car. Yes, I didn't do it myself, but yeah, for this type of thing, the car needed to come here for a service anyway, and these guys do look after the car service-wise. Sorry, this is absolute chaos here. Anyway, back on the road with this car. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, actually, this car's kind of been in hibernation for about a month with this problem. I just had no time and no real motivation to get it fixed, but that is now done, and I'm now happy again. I'm looking forward to what's to come. I need to turn the heating up here because this new AC gas is freezing. But yeah, to summarize basically what had happened, the AC compressor, or the AC pump, is a fairly known problem, fault I suppose, with this car, and actually the most common way of them failing is the compressor actually seizes, and that's kind of what I thought had happened to my one, because it was making this awful noise. It was clearly, you know, not working correctly or not working at all. But when Tim was actually, you know, stripping the old part off, and he loosened the belt, the serpentine belt, which powers this, the power steering, the alternator, and a load of other things, you know, pretty important. When he loosened it, the bearing that then attaches to the end of the compressor just fell off. So that had sheared, I presume, or the clutch that kind of connects the compressor to the bearing had gone, I suppose. Whether that bearing sheared or wore down as a result of the compressor seizing, I don't know. I didn't actually ask that question. I just knew that the compressor was shot and it needed to be rectified. And so yes, I was very lucky actually that didn't actually throw the belt off at any point, because, you know, I would have lost power steering, I would have lost the alternator, would have lost everything basically. And then there's always a risk, as I believe Tim said to me, that there's always a risk that if that bearing did come loose and the belt flew it off, that bearing would then be bouncing around in the engine bay, potentially taking some other components with it. So yes, very thankful that the issue's fixed. Yeah, the noise is gone, everything is all working correctly as it should, which makes me very happy, because we all know the trials and tribulations that I've had with this car. As I said, you can find all the details to Swift Performance linked down in the description below. Do go check them out for anything that you need. For me though today, that is it. I'm sorry that it's another fixing video with this car, but it's just basically my ownership really, summed up in one. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed nonetheless. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like and make sure to subscribe for all the adventures still to come.